Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, CIO and co-founder of Nidus. And today I want to ask you, are you migrating off of an identity management system or an access management system? And are you using orchestration? If not, you could be saving a ton of time and money if you are, and I'm going to tell you how. So we've been getting a lot of people that are migrating off of some form of legacy system. It's become more popular recently because SiteMinder end of life, so therefore everyone's panicking, going, oh, we got to get off of this. Also, a lot of people are getting, pissed off at certain vendors for whatever reasons. They're like, oh, we don't want to be with Ping anymore. We're going to go to Okta, or we don't want to be with Okta anymore. We're going to go to Ping, or ForgeRock. We're not sure where they're going to be, so we're going to Ping, and all these kind of things. So everyone's moving all around doing all these migrations. The problem is the bigger the company, the more integrations you have, right? So a lot of these big companies, you may have 200 applications integrated into your system, and they've all been hand coded and hand integrated one at a time to your application instances. So what's happening now is like, oh, we have to migrate. And like, oh my God, this took us like 2 years just to put this stuff in the first place. Now to migrate all is going to take another year and a half or more just to get off this stuff, because now you got to go rewrite every one of those apps to connect to the new system. Such a pain, right? Well, that's where orchestration comes in. This is where the beauty of an orchestration layer really takes place. And honestly, Strata, in my opinion, has, for this particular model of migration, has the best orchestration tool out there to do this quickly and efficiently with the lowest overhead and cheapest, honestly. But it works so well because of this. Imagine you have a reverse proxy, and at that reverse proxy, what's going to happen now is it's going to say, hey, I need these. Let's say you used to be on SiteMinder and now you're Ping. So you're going to say, hey, I see that you're authenticated as a Ping user. I get it. And now I'm going to create let's take Strata. I'm going to make a Strata session. So now you have a session with me. Now I'm going to take those headers and I'm going to transform those headers to look like a SiteMinder token. And then I'm going to pass it to the backend app. So now all you have to do really is set up this one place that acts as reverse proxy to all of your applications, which you probably already have in place anyway. So at that point, you just change what the tokens look like and send it back to the backend apps. So all of your backend applications, well, I shouldn't say all, but the vast majority of them will not have to do anything. You don't have to update any code. You don't even have to tell them it's happening. It's just done. So that's why when you're doing these migrations, these large scale, like lift and shift migrations from one vendor to another, with an orchestration layer in between, it does two things. One, it cuts down the implementation time of switching in this migration because you don't have to rewrite all your apps. That's huge. I mean, just think about that. You do not have to rewrite your backend applications to migrate from one authentication app to another. That in itself is gold. But also, it's future-proofing your entire infrastructure, because you're going to change your identity system again later, because there's going to be some new version that comes out. Like right now, we're now in the talks of moving to decentralized identity. What identity management system out there focuses on decentralized self-sovereign ID? There aren't any. And if you're in Europe, that's what everyone is talking about right now, because it's becoming mandated. So it's only a matter of time before it comes here. So you're going to implement this new identity management system now. And then 2, 3, 4 years from now, all of a sudden you're like, oh man, now we got to do this new system that incorporates decentralized ID because that's what everyone wants. So now what are you going to do? You have to redo it all over again. But if you have that orchestration layer in place, who cares? It's just plug and play at that point, because now you just swap out your authentication system and your orchestrator will then rewrite whatever your backend apps need. So it becomes way simpler to migrate now, and it becomes way simpler later when you migrate later. So I can't stress enough, you really need to look into more into the orchestration layer. There's also Ping DaVinci, which also does it well. It just has a lot more going on to it, so it's a little bit more costly and a little more involved, and it's cloud only. You can't install it locally, where Strata you can. And then also ForgeRock has a tool, which is now Ping. But there's another little secret I'm going to give you. If you're using ForgeRock's identity gate, well, it's not the identity cloud anymore. I forget what they call it. The Ping identity cloud. I don't know. Whatever ForgeRock identity cloud was, then Ping is now. There is a little tool called the Identity Gateway. Now, the Identity Gateway can be installed as a proxy service in your on-prem systems. And the whole point of it is so that the ForgeRock cloud systems can talk to your on-prem systems, and they do it through this Identity Gateway. Now, in there is a really cool feature that will allow you to change the headers. So you can manipulate the headers on the Identity Gateway itself, which is a reverse proxy, so that the backend apps can consume whatever the flipped headers are. So in a sense, you could also do kind of what these orchestration tools do with the Identity Gateway, not as robust. But if you just happen to have ForgeRock Identity Cloud and you happen to have some old system that you need to flip off of that uses header-based authentication, which a lot of them do, you can use the Identity Gateway to do that for you and save you a ton of time and money. And if you want to know how to do that, call me and I'll tell you. I'll see you around. Later. Hey everyone, you going to Identiverse this year, May 28th and 29th in Las Vegas? We're going to be there, and we're going to make it awesome. How? We're having a scavenger hunt, where you can win awesome prizes and cool fun stuff like an invite to our private party. The way that you're going to find it is find these little poker chips all over the convention, tap your phone to them, and that's how you're going to start the scavenger hunt. Lots of cool prizes, and not everyone's going to be able to make it. Hope you can do it. I'll see you guys there. Later.